one of our best-selling shirts, our shirt that has the bunch of lollygaggers.
Oh,
Uh,
I have that T-shirt.
yeah, that was a test. I did that on a whim.
Is there anybody there?
What's up, Dad Hat Crew, and welcome to another episode of the Dad Hat Chronicles podcast. This week, I give you guys Brian Wilson. He is a merchandise manager for the Durham Bulls. We go into how he got started, because everybody has an origin story when they get started in their dream job, right? The teams that he works with, all right, because there's not just the Durham Bulls, but there's two other teams that he does work for. And I'm telling you, you guys gotta listen to this, right? And then also, he threw me a curveball there, guys. It's a little bit of a surprise that he threw there for me. And let me tell you, I am excited, okay? Super excited. Like, as soon as I was done with the episode, I jumped for joy. I did cartwheels, the whole 9 yards. I'm telling you, it is big. It's huge, at least for me, all right? But before I give you guys the episode, I wanted to make sure you guys are doing me a favor. Hit the subscribe button, like the episode, and then also go on to my YouTube channel and subscribe to the YouTube channel. I'm always putting new video, new content. Every single day I've been putting something out there for you guys, okay? And obviously that way you guys also watch the Dad Hat Chronicle Sports Show with some great friends of mine, Eric Profit, Mike Sellers, Patrick Larson, and Donnie Wise. So that's a little bit of news about that. But now, guys, let's go ahead and give you the episode. All right, enjoy. All right, well, welcome back, guys, to yet another episode of Dad Hat Chronicles. My name is Ed, and with you guys, I have a treat. Actually, it's mostly a treat for me because this man works for one of the brands that I absolutely love. I grew up loving this brand, and he works for them, and I absolutely love it. So with me, I have Brian Wilson. He is the Director of Merchandise and Team Travel for the Durham Bulls. How are you doing, my friend?
I am fantastic. Thank you very much for having me on. I've been looking forward to this for a long time.
Yeah, both of us are, we're just talking of her. Like, we're both fans of 47 brand. So we're going to
Yep.
talk about that. But like, it's like, it's like, oh my God, let's go, Brian, let's talk. But my friend, you also work with another team. You work
Yes,
with the Holly Springs Salamanders, correct?
I do. The Durham Bulls are owned by Capital Broadcasting,
Yes.
who also have the Holly Springs Salamanders. So I do Birch there, and our new team that starts in May in Greenville, North Carolina.
You are a
Uh,
busy man.
yes, but that's how we like it here.
I,
We don't like downtime, as you know, showing about what we're doing here at the stadium with Woolies Winter Wonderland. We don't like downtime here.
who does, right? And then you
Yeah,
get to
exactly.
use that ballpark not just during the summer, but you're using it year round. Like, you find ways of using
Mhm.
that absolute wonderful, beautiful ballpark that you have there in Durham.
We are definitely 12 months going strong here, whether it's special events, concerts, throw some baseball in there too. We like to have everything going at all times. And then we also have the historic Durham Athletic Park that we oversee as well. So yeah, we are going non. It's fun. It is like, we don't like the end of the season. We want to keep going.
What end of season? From what I understand, right,
Exactly.
there is
That's
no
true.
season.
I'll see you Monday.
Exactly. See you guys on Monday. We'll have a day off, and then we'll be back on Monday.
Yep. Yep. Exactly.
Okay, so let me ask you this. I want to go back. How did you get started, like with the Durham Bulls, right? I mean, there had to be a point where, like, I'm sure you were like, I want to work for this, or did they find you? How that happened?
This is a phenomenal story, and I'm sorry if it goes a little long, but
No,
it
please do.
needs
Go
to.
for it.
I went to school to be an educator. My wife is a teacher as well. Uh, I realized very quickly that it takes a special person to be a teacher, and I just didn't have it. So I
You and me
was,
both.
yep. So I was a manager at Dick's Sporting Goods, and for a couple of seasons, the home clubhouse manager here, Colin Saunders, who has passed on, but he worked for me, and he greatest guy in the world. But it was one of those things where he was so good to work with, but it was those days where he made you laugh, but I probably should fire you at the same time. But
Yeah.
and then this position opened way back in beginning of '07, and he said, you got to go, we're getting you in. And I was in mid-February, and off we went, and I haven't looked back since.
It's amazing. It's one of my favorite. I'm telling you, like I'm not lying when I say, like, the team that I fell in love with, and obviously I'm sure you've heard this
Yes.
100, 600 million times. Bull Durham. Like, I literally,
Right.
growing up, that's who I fell in love with, and it's like I had not stopped saying I own a lot of hats because of that. So
I appreciate it. We see you often at the
yeah.
OT Sports Ballpark Corner Store. Um, yeah, I mean, I could not have gotten into a better place to start and hopefully end in many, many years to get in professional sports and minor league baseball. Not only the history of the Bulls, and obviously the movie, basically single-handedly saved minor league baseball and started turning it into what it is today. Back then it was a totally different world, and to turn minor league baseball into the fan-friendly event that it is. And the Bulls and not only that, it's just a class organization. I know I've been here 17 years now, but I still feel like I've only been here a couple of years, and my body doesn't feel that way, but
Your body tells you need to slow down.
My body's telling me something different. But every day I come to work, and this is the truth, and I get up and I'm ready to go. I'm here an hour early every day, and I get yelled at all the time. Stop coming in so early.
Well, I
But
love
it's
it
just
here.
a great place to be every day.
That's awesome.
And the way I talk to a lot of people about it is, even on a bad day, I'll walk upstairs and walk around the stadium and go, I work at a baseball stadium. It's not that bad.
No,
Get back to work.
no, I'm a jealous man. I'm telling you right now, I'm a jealous man. Like, I mean, working for baseball, like I tell my wife all the time, I'm like, babe, I'm telling you, it's like, I'm 42, but like that itch has never gone away. I'm like wanting
Mm-hmm.
to play, or I can't play anymore. Obviously, that dream has long passed. But like,
Yeah, that
at least,
dream. Yep.
yeah, it didn't happen.
My,
But working in baseball, right? It's like that's just one of those things that no matter what, it's always been there.
it's a different job. You have to understand what you're getting yourself into.
Hmm.
We're here all the time.
Yeah.
From mid-March. If with us, it's even earlier. With a lot of different things we do, but basically from mid-March until October, you see the people that work here and more than your family.
Yeah,
And
it's tough.
there's not a lot of days off, there's not a lot of time off, but the way I look at it, as if you love your job, it's okay.
Hmm.
There's many days I've missed a lot of my three kids, a lot of their activities, but they understand sometimes. And
Yeah.
they know that they love to come to the ballpark
Hmm.
to come see games. So but when you love it, you don't notice. You
Yeah.
just want to get back here every day.
The day you find a job that you love, you'll never work a day in your life.
Exactly. Yes, 100%. That is so true.
So let's start with the Durham Bulls, right? We're talking about the Durham Bulls. So tell me, as far as like your day-to-day job, like, I mean, you said you go in an hour early. So like, what is it that, walk me through like your typical, day that when you go into work at Durham Bulls.
So we'll go with a game day, because a game day versus a non-game day is a
It's a
different thing.
two-headed monster. Yeah.
Two different things. So when you did my title in the minor league baseball, everybody has multiple jobs. There are not many people.
Exactly. Yeah.
There are not many people that don't work two or three different responsibilities. During the season, I'm also the team travel director. We're all on tarp teams. I'm out there pulling tarp.
Everybody does
I'm
tarp.
out there
Everybody.
Yes, that is a rite of passage. Everybody thinks that's the greatest thing in the world, and it is, until you do it about twice, and then you're like, I'm over this.
Yeah, like I'm done.
I'm done. That thing hurts. For me, it's come in right away, make sure the store is ready to go, or at least make the list of things we have to do to get that game ready. We're here at 9 a.m. where store opens at 10. So, we have a staff here to work on our e-commerce, work on our stocking. I'll do a lot of that with them, or I'll be doing a lot of, planning or analyzing, trying to figure out what orders we need, reorders, what's working, what's not, pricing, just a lot of that merchandise responsibility. For us, especially since COVID, the buying structure and the planning has become so different. We're looking at, when we talk hats, most things we have to have a year in advance now.
Oh my God.
So, for 47, I'm doing my orders in April for the following year.
What?
Yeah, we'll do our orders in April for the following year. So you don't have a lot to go on as far as sales history. So, it's a lot about trends, and it's a lot about having your core product and making sure you have enough. The day goes by fast. Next thing you know, it's 5:00. There's never enough time to get things done. But for me, a lot of it is making sure the team travel side is running properly, making sure our buses are where they're supposed to be, especially when the team's on the road, our flights, hotels, making sure all the players have the proper hotel rooms. Being an affiliate of the Tampa Bay Rays, we're always making a lot of changes. There's, we have a lot of movement. So that keeps us busy as well. And then, the gates open and it becomes what we love to do, and that's take care of the fans.
So wow, this is fantastic and wild at the same time, right?
You're going to come out, you're going to work a Saturday with me.
I'm in. Then, I am so in.
We will make that happen.
You don't understand. I am so, yes, count me in on this one.
All right. I'm writing it down right now. Ed is working a Saturday in July.
This works for me. In. So let's talk about this, because it's wild, right? Because you said, like, okay. And then I've heard with so many people in minor league baseball, it's like, Ed, yes, my title is this, but I do this, and this, and this. And every single one tells me we do the tarp, which is, like you said, it's a rite of passage.
Yep.
My first question is, do you have your own set of shoes just for the tarp?
I have multiple.
Okay, go. That's what I figured.
They're literally, I can show them. They're right here.
That's amazing.
Yes, you have your own tarp shoes. What they are, they're basically your lawn mowing shoes.
Yeah.
You ruin a pair of shoes, you bring them in, that's for tarp.
And those are your tarp shoes. That's what
now,
I figured.
here's the trick that nobody tells you. You don't ever usually get to put them on. Unless
that's
it's like
funny.
Unless it's a pre-planned, like, hey, come in Saturday at 9 a.m. and we're going to pull. But usually it's, if it's, God forbid, we have to do it during the game, it's a call on the walkie, get to the tarp.
Do you don't have time to go to your office, grab your shoes? It's there now.
Go.
So you have, what you tell me is you have a lot of lawn shoes, is what you're saying.
Yes. Tarp, they go running or working shoes, tarp, lawn.
Yeah, that's it. It's over with, because it's once you go through that, it's over with.
Yes.
That's
absolutely
amazing. That's amazing. And then, but you also said that you take care of team travel logistics, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're literally for the whole team, right? Like the team that travels, the group that travels, you do the hotels, you do their bus or everything that encompasses traveling.
Yep. That's primarily that's it's not totally my off-season job, but that's when we set up most of it. Like, I'm about 75% done with it right now.
Oh wow, that's wild.
Yeah, so we'll finish up the flights in January, and then be ready to go.
Which is funny, because I'm sure you have to leave room for, like you said, you're with your parent club is the Tampa Bay Rays, so there is going to be movement.
Yes.
So you have to give yourself that wiggle room. All right, this person's no longer there. We got to take this person out and add this person now.
Yep. When you bust, it's a lot easier. You don't have to worry about it. It's when you're flying is when it gets difficult, because if you didn't buy, it depends on the ticket and it depends on the airline and whether or not they'll name change out.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody gets called up halfway through a homestand or a road trip, and then they send us somebody down, you have to account for that person. So I work primarily with the trainers on the
Yeah.
road, and they're fantastic. We have been very lucky to work with some great trainers here that do a lot of the lifting while they're on the road, and I'll stay back and do what I can from here.
Have you ever gone traveling with the team?
Yeah. At least once a year I'll do it.
Do it yeah, because like yeah, I got to do it. It's like the edge is there.
Yeah, a lot of it is I don't have to.
Hmm.
Um but I like doing it because you get to meet the people you're talking to,
Hmm.
the hotel representatives, the people on the other team, the clubhouse managers, everything that you get to meet them and you have that personal relationship, and it makes your job a lot easier.
Oh, I'm sure it does. It's all about relationships in this business, right? You
And
got to maintain them.
it's also great that you get to see what the players go through, and that will
Mm,
help you with your planning.
understand? Yeah.
When you're looking at it on paper, certain things, say, I don't know, say you're doing a flight and you have a connection, and you would like, well, if I do this connection, it's only 45 minutes. And then you're there and you see them running from one plane to the other. Oh, that probably wasn't such a good idea.
Yeah.
We should probably, bring it back.
Okay, so maybe we
Um,
should make the connection a little bit
yeah,
longer, just so that
yeah.
we give them
So
time to.
things on paper don't necessarily work out,
For
obviously in
us,
a lot of things.
yeah,
Yeah.
for us, like a 45-minute connection is the perfect, just because like yes, we'll run, but we're not the athletes, right? It's like
Right.
I
Yeah.
was like, I'm just trying to get there.
Yeah, but try to make them as comfortable as possible within the parameters you're given.
Nice, I like it.
So when a lot of times, because we can't get equipment on the planes,
Hmm.
we'll have to drive the equipment, and I'll do that. You know, I'll take the equipment in a plane, and I get there, and then, if usually I don't have anything to do when we're on the road except, just watch some baseball.
Nice.
Get to see some great stadiums. I've learned a lot about my merch job by meeting other merchandise directors and seeing what they do in their stadiums.
That's interesting. I love that because you're like,
Yeah.
okay, I don't have to do much. I already drove all this stuff. So let me go ahead and
Yep.
meet up with other people. Let me see what they do, because everybody does their own, their own thing differently than you do.
Yes, exactly. And you can get some great ideas. You may think your store and your merch is the best, and then you go to Toledo and you go to what Craig Katz has been doing in Toledo, and you're like, oh, hey, this guy's good. He knows his stuff, and I got some great ideas for artwork or for
Hmm.
different vendors that you don't necessarily work with. And next thing you know, you can come back with some awesome ideas that's going to translate into your store.
That's amazing. I love
the
that.
merchant the merchandise director fraternity in minor league baseball is very tight. There's 120 of us or so, but we are all very tight, and especially in the international league, a lot of us have been around for a long time, and they're my closest friends. So
That
we're able to bounce ideas off of them constantly.
I was just gonna ask you, is that such what you do? You bounce ideas off of each other and like, okay, listen, this is what I'm doing. What do you guys think? Because every market is different, right? You're in
Right.
North Carolina, and Columbus is different.
Yep.
Toledo is different, right? So I'm sure that even though there are different areas, there are some things that do translate to each place.
Yes, absolutely. You said like Toledo, obviously a much colder weather environment than we
Hmm.
are, and they're selling outerwear until mid to late June. We're selling outerwear until mid to late April.
Yeah.
Um, but we can still translate things that they do and we do, and work out, just some great ideas. Like you said, Columbus, Krista in Columbus is an amazing talent, and she does a phenomenal job there. The Clippers, especially with the competition they have with Ohio State being right next to them,
Yes.
um, they are able to really have one of the top logos in minor league baseball, even with their competition.
I've actually had Big Matt, who works there.
Yes.
uh Wonderful guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
I had him on the podcast, and he tells me, it's like, Ed, this is like, like you said, it's like, it's constantly, you're always doing something. But it's funny because like you say that, because like their outerwear is different season wise than it is here.
Right.
And
Totally
that
different.
and in North Carolina, even though we're both wearing hoodies and we're both here in North Carolina right now.
I was just out on the field and I'm freezing. It was chill. Yeah, dress warm if you're coming out, because it was chilly.
I will. And I gotta say, before we continue, that Columbia hoodie that you got going on right now, it is
Man,
fresh.
this is fleece.
Oh, there it is.
It will be a mainstay in the store come March, maybe February.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to take this off anytime soon.
Like,
Except my wife was eyeing it the other day, and I thought, oh no, oh
yeah, oh,
no,
here we go.
oh no, I think I'm losing a hoodie.
The good thing is I'm 6'2". My wife is 5'1", so my hoodies don't fit her, so we're good
Yeah,
there.
yeah. No, we're a little closer in height, so
You're just
she
like, no,
likes.
no, I'm taking it. You're just
Yeah,
so you
it's
know.
gone. It's good as gone, especially when she hears this.
Oh Lord. So let's talk merchandising because I find it very interesting. You said earlier that you now, because of COVID, you do your ordering for next year. Like you do it a
Yes.
year in advance.
Yeah.
Like, do you do like you sit down with a designer and you figure out like, which let's talk, obviously we both love the 47. So
Yep.
why don't we
Let's
stick
go
with that?
47.
Yeah, let's
Yep.
go 47. Like, how does that work for you?
So 47 is a great one because they're one of the top vendors in minor league and major league sports.
Mhm.
Um, so I will actually go there up to their office in April, probably right after the first homestand. And they obviously have their trends that they'll have and catalogs that we work out of.
Yeah.
But we will sit and do artwork for each individual hat that they have for the next following season. And I'll sit there, hey, can we try the burnt orange in that style? Can we try royal in that style? And they will work on the art as we are sitting there. There are some that are pre-built that we can't change.
Yep.
You like it or you don't. But the great part is they'll work with you as best as they can with the color schemes that you have. So we will sit there, put it all together. I'll get it back in a week or to 10 days, and I have to place the orders of our quantities, like I said, within another week or so.
How do you because the like you said, Durham Bulls has been an iconic brand for so long, right? I'm sure the order has to be pretty big in order for you to maintain it throughout the season, or do you let's say obviously you order it in a year in advance, but I'm sure you run out of things. Like, do you
Right.
have the opportunity to order extra? Is that a choice that you have or no?
Yeah, we can, with most vendors, you can order as much as you want.
Mhm.
There's just a minimum quantity of what you can order.
Yeah.
Different vendors are different quantities,
Mhm.
what you can order. And it depends also if you're buying an import item versus a domestic item. If it's domestic, that's, they keep in stock, it might be a lower quantity minimum.
Yeah.
Usually with most vendors, the higher quantity you buy, it's not, they try to keep the cost down, which then we can keep the cost down to the consumer. But imports that's the biggest, that's why it takes so long, is to get it created and get it shipped here.
Mhm.
These factories now are almost 10 months to a year. So we'll say, if you have a good hat and you buy, say it's an import hat or an import shirt, and you buy 200 of them and it blows out first homestand, well, remember that one for next year.
Yeah.
And that happens every year. Every single year
Interesting.
it happens. And it also happens the other way every single year. You buy some that you think is just going to win, and
And they don't.
it doesn't. And, it's not like you can give it back. So you try to really, I don't like calling it an educated guess, because you're going off of history of sales. You're going off of fashionable trends.
Yeah.
So it's not an educated guess, but you're using a philosophy as close to possible to get what you need and not run out until the end of the season.
My God, that's just wild. So based on obviously you have your mainstays, right? Like your mainstays,
Yes.
like you got your the blue ones, right? Like that's always gonna be there. The
Mm-hmm.
one with the white front, that's
Yep.
gonna be those are the ones that you usually those are gonna sell no matter what.
Yes. Yes.
what's your freedom, or do you have the freedom to do? It's like, all right, let's try some different things, like you said, based on trend and things like that. Like, how much do you play with that as far as orders, and then like let's bring something new to the market this time around.
We do. We play a lot. We always keep our core. Um, for us, our biggest thing is our core items, not just headwear, but apparel. We
Yeah.
don't ever want to run out of. I don't ever want to run out of the Royal cleanup cap,
No. Yeah.
or the New Era on fields. You,
Correct.
you don't you don't ever want to run out of sizes in those. Because your mainstay, what your fans want, your core item, you want to make sure you have it 12 months a year. So that one fan that wants it doesn't come in and be disappointed. If there's other items that are a little more fashion trend or a little more, not sure, then if you run out and you sold it well, great. But by the end of the season, my plan is to always have our core that we never want to run out of, and then certain other items throughout the rest of the year.
Gotcha.
So for me, I am able to overbuy. Not
Mhm.
everybody can do that, but I'm able to overbuy those core items so we do not run out. There has been, especially the last couple of years, there's been some times where we have, where the plants just, could not, and the factories could not ship fast enough.
Oh,
That
wow.
seemed, yeah, that especially coming out of COVID, 21 was rough, because we could not get product, with the issues they had at the
Mhm.
docks and the issues they had at the plants, just not being able to have people working fast enough. Most vendors just, there were
Couldn't keep
times
up.
where you just couldn't keep up. That's, knock on wood, that's been solved and we're kind of back to normal.
Mhm.
But yeah, we went for a while there where it was, you had to overbuy because you did not want to get to August. And now for us, September, now that our season's been pushed back more,
Yeah.
where you don't have product.
So what are some of those lessons that you've learned then, right? Because obviously, like you said, it's like now you're overbuying on certain items. Is that
Mm-hmm.
you're just constantly doing that just so that way, like you said, on the Royals, on the on-field hats, because those
Yep.
are the things that you want to keep. So those are the ones that you're always going to overbuy now, just in case something does happen.
Right. That, and the thing we've learned in the last 3 years, um, merchandising in minor league baseball has fundamentally changed since 2019 for a ton of different factors. But we had to adjust how we purchase.
Mhm.
We had to adjust because of the lead times,
Yeah.
for certain ones, and then there are vendors, that are able to get things very quickly to us, especially in the apparel realm. Headwear is a little different, but in the apparel realm, we have some great partners that can get things within a week to 10 days.
Oh, wow,
So
that's
when
fast.
you have things like that, you can take chances. And
Yeah.
if you don't, it doesn't. If it does work really well, oh yeah, you can get them back quickly and go with it. Um, our one of our best selling shirts, our shirt that has the bunch of lollygaggers.
Oh,
Uh,
I have that T-shirt.
yeah, that was a test. I did that on a whim.
That's a
Hey,
good
why don't we
whim.
try that? And we did 72. We sold them out in one night. And I called our vendor, Bim Ritter, who's just amazing. And I was like, I think I need some more. They're like, what, you sell 20 or 30? I said, no, I sold all. And, a week later, here they were. And off we go. And that is our best selling shirt.
I love that
Um,
T-shirt. I have to get me another one because I wore it so much.
yeah.
That's how it is. It's such a comfortable T-shirt too.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's a nice soft, it's called soft style. It's
Yeah,
like a tri blend. And it's just a great shirt.
that's by Bim Ryder, right?
Yes. Yep.
Look at that. That's amazing. That's hilarious. They like like, oh, we're just gonna do this on a whim, see how this goes. Boom, done.
Well,
I
that's
need
the
more.
beauty of minor league baseball.
Yeah.
That really is the beauty of minor league baseball. Major league baseball can do that a lot with the players when they
Mhm.
have a player saying or something like that, or one of their players gets hot. Um, you
Mhm.
know, especially with Tampa Bay Rays when Oro's Arena was blowing up, they were able to do a lot of things. We can do a lot of things in minor leagues that are more theme oriented
Yeah.
and or more team oriented. Maybe not so much players, but like that was that was on just walking around the store talking to somebody and saying we needed something.
Interesting.
So that and one of our other ones that we did a collaboration with the Carolina Hurricanes when they were all being called a bunch of
A
jerks.
bunch of jerks. Yeah, I
Bunch of
remember that.
jerks. We're good. We do our Hurricanes night every year. We're good friends with them. We came up with a shirt that says "Friends of a Bunch of Jerks,"
That's amazing. Yeah.
and it brought two fan bases who we're all kind of Hurricanes fans down here now.
We
So
are
we were
indeed.
able to we were able to bring the two teams together.
I love that part. I see this in you're right, because in Major League Baseball, you're more of a all right. So it's like you said, player gets hot, popular player, you're gonna sell a lot of those, like those T-shirts or the jerseys and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But with minor league baseball, it's always been themed, and I think that's why I love minor league baseball so much, is because, and I own a lot of hats, right? So like they're all different. Every single one is different.
Yes, absolutely. You can get the hat you're wearing. It's a cleanup.
Yep.
You can get that in 10 different teams, and they'll all be different.
Every single one.
Every single one of them.
That's amazing.
The other thing we can do with 47 now that they've been doing apparel for a while is something that we haven't in minor league baseball really haven't done as much. You want to get a shirt, you want to get a hat, but you don't really think about putting together a package.
Correct.
Cool hat, cool shirt, not cool hat that matches cool shirt.
Yes, right.
And it's a fashionable trend. Comfort colors has been very popular, and now we're really pushing headwear that matches the comfort color tees or comfort color style tees.
I'm all about that. I just started doing the mystery hat and scrum tees together. So I ordered one of each. I was like, I don't know, something might happen. We'll see how this goes. And I love that. I love the mystery of it.
Yes.
So, and because I could begin hockey or basketball, whatever, doesn't matter. But you're right. And they're comfortable. They're super comfortable too.
Right. And that's the most important part of, you can have a great logo, you can have a great color, but if it's not a shirt that you or a hat that you don't want to wear because it's uncomfortable, it doesn't matter.
I have a couple of those.
Yeah, it's going to sit in your dresser. And I don't know about you, but it's going to sit in my dresser. And then my wife yells at me for having too many T-shirts I never wear.
Interesting. I have a whole, yep. Yep. Exactly. I was like, oh, I have it. Not quite fond of it, but somehow we cannot get rid of them.
Never.
There's that off chance that we'll wear it again.
Yes. You never know when you need that.
See, Brian, you and me,
we're here, man. We're here.
I get it. Okay, so let me ask you this, right? AAA, well-oiled machine, right? Durham Bulls, well-oiled machine. But now, you also, and we talked about this, you also take care of two other teams, but you take care of the Holly Springs Salamanders, right? That's collegiate woodbed. That's a little bit different, right? Because merchandising for that, while yes, some things are the same, it's not to the same level as the Durham Bulls.
It has made me such a better merchandiser and buyer since we took over the Salamanders, because I jumped into a dream job, right into a high level AAA job, and or at least a high level team. There are, I hate saying classes because there are AA teams and single A teams that are absolutely amazing. Correct. And do what they did, but you don't want to say, well, they're only class A, so they're not. No, that is in minor league baseball. It's totally
it's minor league. Yeah. So it's a fraternity of, yeah.
Just because you're a different class up doesn't mean AA or single A, they're not as good as you are just because they're selling little less merch. But Holly Springs was, 30 games at home. Start right after Memorial Day or right around Memorial Day. You end the first week of August. You have all your stuff. Unless you have something just fly off the shelves, you don't reorder. You have what you have. And it's, I hear after our renovation, I have a 2,800 square foot store at Durham and then two satellites, two 200 square feet store satellites in the stadium. There, you only have one store. It's 150 square feet. You got to maximize every inch.
I've been to that store. It is.
And I'm sure you've been to that stadium. It's a beautiful stadium.
Beautiful ballpark. Oh my God, it's gorgeous.
And their fans are great. the fan base is amazing.
Yeah,
You would never know, the team is a bunch of freshmen and sophomores in college.
correct.
They root for their team and they are about the Salamanders. So I've learned a lot of valuable lessons, not so much how to maximize space in your area and how to take full advantage of the time you have.
It's interesting, right? Because I've been to that little store on game days, and you're like in out. That's it. It's like it is
Yep.
that small. It's the size a little bit bigger than a closet, walk-in
Yeah.
closet.
So what that was before we purchased the team, it was supposed to be a concession stand. It was
Wow.
built as a concession stand. And what they did, the previous ownership, they just used it as a walk up and they put a couple shirts or hats up on the back wall and you just point like a concert.
Yep.
We came in and went, no, that's not going to work. And we blew out the front door and we made a door and we made it a walkable, shoppable experience.
Yep.
We have some plans for this year where we're going to bring it out into the ballpark, into the
Oh wow.
concourse, and maximize a little more space out there so we can get some product and get a little space because especially on the weekends, that little store gets cramped.
It does really
Yeah.
quick.
You put more than about 9 or 10 people in there and you're rubbing shoulders with people.
And it's funny because if you do a fireworks night there, oh man, it is
Well, we
France
won't
City.
bring up that.
Yeah.
But it's a beautiful stadium. They play soccer there as well.
Mhm.
It's all turf. The kids the players are awesome. They're into, if we want to do a special theme, if need them to sign autographs, they are always down for it. They are great to work with. And Sherry and Sarah over there at the stadium do a tremendous job. So
They've
I
been
love
doing.
going down there. I absolutely love going to games.
Oh yeah, me too. And I'm like, we were just talking. I'm like, I'm 10 minutes away from that park. It
Mm-hmm.
is a beautiful park. My daughter loves saying, it's like, Daddy, let's go to the Salamanders. Let's go to the Salamanders, right? So I'm like, yep, I'm not saying no to that. But I
Yeah,
think
and
she also she likes to go to the Salamanders because of the little park that she has right there.
isn't that perfect?
It
Little
is.
playground right next to the stadium.
It
Perfect.
is. It is. Absolutely. So she loves
Um,
it.
it gets a little. The one thing over there, it just gets with the turf, it gets hot
Oh
summertime. But
yeah.
once that sun just gets behind home plate after about the second inning, and we have the great fans,
Yep.
the literal fans,
Literal, no
uh,
joke. And they're massive. Yeah, I see them. Yeah.
and we have those here too as well, and it just brings the temperature down to a nice 75 degrees with a breeze, and it's just so much fun to go there.
It is. And I like I said, we've been there a couple of times and it's a nice small ballpark to on a summer night go watch a ball game, right? Like you're there
Right.
with for family. It's affordable, which is the best thing about it. So,
Yes.
and
It's I think we can I think it's 1,600 seats.
yep.
Get about another 400 or so, maybe a little more standing room. When you go there, it's real fun because a lot of people won't even sit in their seats. They just stand out in the concourse and watch the game up there. And there's not a bad seat at all.
Especially that third base concourse, like it's really
Yep.
massive concrete concourse there that you
Mm-hmm.
guys can take advantage of that. I'm sure you will.
Yep.
Sure there's plans for, in the future for that.
Yeah, we're that's the nice thing about, especially with both teams, we're always trying to make the fan experience better. That's really why we're here, for the community, for all three teams, but for the community, for the fans to come have a great time for a couple hours, not worry about anything at home, just come to the ballpark, eat some great food, grab a hat, grab a shirt, get you out of here, hopefully bring you back the next day.
Okay, so I before we go back to Dorans, because I have a really good question for you. But
Mm-hmm.
as far as like you said, for merchandising for the Salamanders, right? Like, are you guys doing anything new this year for that team? Because I'm sure, since you took over, you're like, all right, so we're gonna start doing a couple of things here and there, some different, hats and themes and things like that. Is that what you guys are planning?
We are. I Like I said, I had to learn a lot about the fan
Yeah,
base there
yeah.
as to what the fans want. price point wise, quality wise, things like that. And I've learned a lot. So we're going to be bringing in a lot more of the vintage look,
Nice.
the 47 look.
I'm in.
We'll call it that.
Yeah.
It may not just be 47, but we're going to be bringing in a lot more of that style. Bringing in a lot more core product that was the same thing, like a lot more core, a lot of things that the fans have been asking for. Their color scheme is really totally different to work with.
Than you guys, than the Bulls,
it's a little bit of royal, but it's not we don't like to say UNC blue because of the traditions around here.
Oh no, don't say that. Yeah.
But a lot of gold, a lot of royal, and a lot of light blue. So the color palette's totally different. So that's what we're working on, is how can we get the color schemes to work for the fans and see what really they want, because you don't want to have a store that's all blue. You don't want to have a store that's all yellow. So we're trying to get that mix. We're trying to figure out what that mix is that the fans want that's going to be successful for everything. Really proud. Last year we unveiled a new, technically it's an alternate, but it really, they wear it a lot, is the baby blue jersey with the pants.
Yes.
Obviously the big style right now is to have the matching uniforms, pants, shirt, hat. We did that, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes. But it's going to be a lot more of the vintage look and a lot more of different, trying to get different types of colors that still work with the team. It doesn't necessarily, that's the big thing, is especially up here, you don't need to be all team color, but you also don't want to have a store that doesn't scream Holly Springs Salamanders. You want to have it a good mix. So we're trying to figure out what that mix is. What, where can we reach? Where can we do a little more? Can we pull off a red shirt? Can we pull off a black or something like that? So down there, it's going to be a lot more, like you said, a lot more of the vintage 47 look with some different color schemes.
I like it, because they also do an alternate, which is the milkshakes there as well.
Yes, the South Wake Shakes.
The South Wake Shakes. That's what it was. Yes,
love working with the shakes. Man, that was fun. That was about a year of working with the logos.
Really?
To get it right. Yeah.
That's amazing, because it hit real good.
Yeah, that pink is just great.
It hits different too. Like,
yep.
I mean, like, I wasn't expecting. I'm like, this is good.
So, like I said, we spent about a year trying to. We officially call it the Malternate.
I like it.
And so what we ended up coming up with was how do we make this look like a 50s diner?
Yeah.
That was really, once we got down to the nitty-gritty of it, that milkshake, the shakes, is that 50s milkshake with the whipped cream hanging out and the cherry on top.
Yep.
That's what, and I love the word mark is the bendy straw.
That's beautiful.
So they play, the best thing about that is that gives us 10 to 12 more games for the fans, and to get more college players time in the summer to play, because that gives us another handful of games where kids may not be able to come out and be a salamander, can still come out and play, and not just be seen, but by fans, but by scouts. I
was just gonna say, you got scouts there all the time.
Yeah, constantly.
That's amazing. I love it. I cannot wait for this year.
Wait till you see. Not that I'm excited or anything, but wait till you see the Greenville.
I was just gonna ask you that you got, because you're working with a third team as well.
With a third team, yeah,
in the CPL. Man, do you ever sleep, Ben?
Nah.
Hope you guys enjoy that episode with Brian. Now make sure you guys come back next week, because we got more stuff still still to discuss. Okay, there's a lot of stuff. More on the CPL, more on Durham, merchandising, hats, the whole nine. Okay, it's absolutely a wonderful episode. So you guys got to come back, and obviously we gotta hear what he has to say on the my famous not so famous questions, right? Absolutely. But before I give you guys the dad joke of the episode, I wanted to ask you guys again, just make sure you guys go on my YouTube channel, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button, like the videos, tell somebody else about the podcast, okay? Because I want them to enjoy it as much as you do, okay? Make sure you guys check out my fellow friends over at Curve Brand Media as well. All of them are putting some great content, so I want to make sure that they get a shout out as well. And then, of course, Tuesday, Thursday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern time, okay? The Dad Hat Chronicles Sports Show with Patrick Larson, Donnie Wise, Eric Profit, Mike Larson, maybe sometimes, you know how he does it. And then, of course, myself, the Dad Hat. You guys, it is a lot of fun. We talk baseball, football, a little bit of basketball, absolutely no tennis, but it's a lot of fun. All right. Now that we got all that stuff out of the way, let's go ahead and give you the dad joke of the episode, and here it is. What do you call a small parent? A mini mom. all right, I see myself out. And until then, guys, keep grinding and always support the minor leagues. See ya.
This podcast is part of the Curved Brand Media Network. Here are some of the other members of Curved Brand Media.
I'm Paul Caputo, and on the Baseball by Design podcast, I talk to minor league baseball teams, designers, and other super interesting people about what these minor league baseball logos mean, and I talk a little bit about ice cream helmets.
What's up, Bucketheads? I'm Anna DiTomaso, and each week on the Baseball Bucket List podcast, I speak with a different fan about their favorite baseball memories, what the game means to them, and what's left to check off on their baseball bucket list.
Hey everyone, it's Eric from the great state of Kansas.
This is Johnny from the New Orleans Baby Cakes Memorial Museum.
And we are the Earn Fun Average podcast,
where we talk to a variety of guests about their love of baseball and have fun doing it.
America, lower your standards.
Average is what we do best.
This is Patrick and Corey of BaseballMapper.com. And we have made an interactive map to help highlight all baseball teams from the majors down to collegiate summer leagues.
We want to bring you closer to baseball. So get on the site and find a team near you today.
Hey guys, this is Patrick Larson from the Minor League Baseball Hat History Series. And in every episode, I go through the history of minor league teams through my personal collection of hats. You can find me on Twitter at PatLarson1. I hope you guys enjoy.
Learn more about Curve Brand Media at curvebrandmedia.com.